The summit between Russia and the US is happening in Alaska, and President Putin have made it very clear that they have some set of demands that they are coming to the table with. And the US President Donald Trump as well is floating the idea of land swap, meaning that Ukraine would agree to give up some part of its land for peace. But this is not the only thing the Russians are asking for. The Russians are asking for the recognition of the Russian language, asking for the reinstitution of the Russian Orthodox Church. They are asking for the recognition of Crimea as part of Russia. They are asking for autonomy for Donbass, which is the eastern part of Ukraine, which was originally part of Russia, and during the partition, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, became part of Ukraine. And furthermore, they are also asking for Ukraine to be demilitarized, to be neutral, and not to join NATO. So the idea that the European Union will send in some kind of peacekeeping fighting force, in quotes, is not going to sell. And Zelensky has been making noise. His European masters have been telling him not to accept any deal. Zelensky has been making noise that there will be no land swap, that the fight must be a fight to the finish, and that they must go back to the 1991 lines, meaning every single inch of territory that the Russians have taken prior to 2014 or after 2014 must be given back to Ukraine, and that Russia must pay restitution, Russia must pay for damages. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The guy is just a child. And the US as well is so tired of all of this. In fact, we are hearing reports that the American president wants to do this as a last-ditch effort to try to broker some kind of ceasefire and peace, and to have peace. That if Zelensky does not admit or agree to the terms that will be provided by the Russians and moderated by the Americans, America is just going to leave them to unalive each other and let the Europeans continue supporting Ukraine and the Russians do their own thing, so that the US president can face other really pressing issues. Well, let's see what happens in Alaska. Fireworks. But who do you think will come out on top in these negotiations between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin? That is number one. And secondly, who would outlast each other in power? Is it President Putin or President Zelensky? And would Ukraine lose land to Russia? These are my key questions. Leave your answer in the comment section.